Hi, welcome. My name is Leo. I'm the Games Master from now until 3 o'clock. What does that mean? What are we doing here? Well, this is Adventurers Wanted. We're a tabletop role-playing game, which means that the four people on my left and right here each play individual, unique characters in a fantasy setting. I, as the Games Master, control the fantasy setting. The characters they bump into, whether they be allies or enemies, and the temples that they will have to delve into to find their way home. And we use dice to mediate. Well, exactly. We use dice to mediate between us to try and keep things fair and to add an element of chaos into the entire thing. So we have about 170 hours of backstory. So in brief. Our players are playing characters who are crew members of the Spirit of the Horizon, a scientific research vessel which awakened an ancient evil god once, and in trying to get away from this god, this was about 2 months ago in game time now, in trying to get away from this god, they cast a spell that was far out of their control, a magic spell, flung them into a new reality, and ever since they've been adventuring across this new reality, trying to recreate the spell with varying success. They haven't been successful, is what I mean, so that they can try and get home. In the last little arc, after having been hailed as heroes for mediating in peace talks between the Katafu, these troll-like creatures, and the Komodo, these lizard-like creatures who had been at war for hundreds of years, after finally managing to get peace between the two of them, they were pointed towards Coralia, which is the city, the trading hub city of the Sariki. Don't worry, I'm throwing these all at you now. The rest of the show's not going to be like this. Which are these dwarf-like creatures that have scaly-ish skin, faint scales on their skin, and coral-like tones in their hair and beards. And they were greeted as heroes, and where we left off, the Prince Corellian was having a chat with Golan in his cabin with the rest of the characters there. Captain Golan, that would be, who's not playing anymore, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's meet our players and their characters. So starting on my right here, tell us your name, your character's name, and give us a little bit of backstory. What would distinguish them from the rest of the crew?
So my name is Oz, and I am playing the part of Darkness Evil Vile, who is the HR rep aboard the ship.
My name is Simon. I'm playing Nomi Watts, who's a fighter and a gnome, and an all-round not very nice person.
Hello, my name is Ian, and I am playing as Brother Jurgen, who is a cleric of joy. His god is joy. He's got a new god in this new place called Rahapat, which he's just calling Pat. And he's also self-appointed ship chief morale officer because everyone was a bit sad. So that's it, yeah.
I'm Richard. I'm playing Sergeant Vale, who's a sergeant for the Marine Detachment aboard the ship, who spends time writing letters home to the families of the poor red-shirt Marines under his command, which after certain recent events means he has writer's cramp.
Yeah, there's been some pretty heavy fighting. Anyway, as Golan stands in his cabin, he is suddenly engulfed in this gold magic, and it's very confusing because there's no land party, and usually this magic teleportation, which is a sort of, don't worry, you've missed nothing but context. This magic teleportation sort of after effects of the initial spell that they cast usually has been trading places for people of the ship and people who are in the land party. What's confusing is that there's no land party at the moment, except there was, because as soon as they reached the dock and Nomi Watts saw this crowded tourist trap, as Darkness put it, tourist trap of a marketplace with people trying to sell things and cheering crowds, welcoming the ship in. As soon as Nomi saw that, he snuck ashore, because of course he did, to look for things to steal.
Yeah.
And then at the very last second, Nomi, just as you're about to take someone's purse, the gold magic plays over your skin, a metal tang comes onto your tongue, and then you're in the captain's quarters, and you're talking to a Sariki, who looks rather taken aback. He goes, "What just happened? What was that?"
Oh, it's
Magic.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens all the time.
What you do? Were you on shore?
No?
Are you covered in like necklaces and other things?
Roll a sleight of hand check for me.
16 plus 9.
Yeah, he's definitely got a few trinkets. He's got these beautiful pieces of coral jewelry.
Like a tiara.
Yeah, tiara,
These
a
are all
brooch.
mine.
Oh.
You didn't see these before? These
So,
are
no,
not
so
mine.
this guy is just
I'm
like
just-
black armor and like a bucket helm, and he's just staring. And he hands you a pamphlet, and it just says "theft in the workplace."
I'm just going to pull
Steal
Nomi to
it.
the side and say, where were you? Because wherever you are is where the captain is, so what were you doing?
Was I with the captain?
You weren't with the captain.
You
No,
swapped places
you've
with the
swapped places
Oh.
with the captain.
Oh, well, maybe I was near the market. I remember being a market somewhere. But I'm pretty sure I was on the ship.
Roll
Were
a
you
dis-
told to leave the ship?
No?
I hand you another pamphlet. It just says "chain of command."
I'll read this later as well.
Where is he getting all these pamphlets from?
I'm just pulling out bits of the armor. Like
He
little
is
I
a-
think
things.
it's a new cantrip.
It's an HR
Magic
wizard.
pamphlets.
Talent thing.
Anyway, so the prince, Corellian, this dressed in these beautiful silken pink and purple robes, stood there next to his daughter, who he introduced as Perline. He goes, "Well, if you are swapping places with the captain, perhaps you are also one who I can treat with, who I can discuss with. Would you advise that?"
Oh,
Brother
definitely,
Young?
yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes, definitely yes.
Nomi does not speak for this crew, and quite frankly, I am going to just push
needs a
him
pamphlet.
quietly to the side if it's okay.
Everyone on
because-
this crew was chosen by the captain, and we are all able to perform our duties to the best of our ability.
I'm just going to put
as contractually obligated.
Do you really want the pickpocketing gnome
Your Highness,
to be speaking on
Yes.
our behalf?
you were saying something about a mysterious ancient tablet.
I'll just stand between them. It's fine.
Yes, the tablet piece that you undoubtedly came here to collect.
Sure.
For context, this tablet is what they're hoping will take them home, and they've been trying to collect various pieces of it from around the world to collate them. It is in the sunken temple on the other side of White Sands. You surely saw it when you came in. None of you saw it. There are. It's easy to find. There are spires poking out from the sea, which used to stand tall and grand above the temple, and now all that you can see of it from afar. It is a temple nowadays to Thahara, the god of the wilderness and the sea.
Sounds so
Not
bad.
a god that I subscribe to personally. I prefer the god of the forge, Vermata.
Let's go. I leave.
But,
Nomi is walking off.
Could someone please go just catch him back?
you're remembering it's underwater, right? Do we really need to stop him?
Well, he's just going to drown. Captain.
I feel
I
like my
presume-
point is
To the
perhaps.
market.
Your Grace. Obviously, we are strangers to this land. We need to go, and obviously, you have, water that surrounds you, etc. We do not, unfortunately, possess the ability to naturally breathe underwater.
We do not possess this ability either.
Ah,
However, because of this, a rather large industry has built up around water-breathing potions, of course.
well, would you be able to furnish us with some of these so that we can go and investigate this temple?
For the heroes of Havmar, this is but a token, and to be honest, I predicted that you would ask this. And he claps, and two servants bring forward this chest, which he opens up.
I come
and
back.
In it
Oh,
there
you've
is
gone.
in it there is a large stack, a large collection of water-breathing potions.
Okay, so we've got enough to last us for.
You have enough, I would say, so that every member of the crew can have a water-breathing potion.
So they don't
Andy.
just appear with teleportation and go.
Exactly. We want to avoid that.
Which has
How long
happened to
does
me
How
before.
long does the potion last for?
An hour.
An
Each
hour,
potion
okay.
lasts an hour.
Okay.
In game time,
Okay.
not
Not real time.
Okay.
real time.
So just enough to do this entire adventure then, perhaps. Interesting.
Perhaps.
Okay.
So I take one, and then I take one for Nomi if Nomi hasn't arrived yet.
Nomi, did you come back?
Yeah, I
when you
heard
realised-
them. I heard people talking about chests full of.
You heard the
things.
opening of a chest.
Yeah, so that was like my ears just went. brrr.
What I might do is, past there are enough for one for each of the crew. I might take two, just in case I have to jam one down somebody's throat
Who doesn't
at any
have
point.
That's fair.
Well, if they've made enough for the crew and we've lost 70 of them, then we've got 70 spare. It's kind of like a wedding buffet. You always like make more than you're going to plan to use. So
Put some of the potions on ice for later.
yeah. So I'll take two, just in case, because you never know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
shall we go and do our salvaging?
Yes, I must leave you to your business. I, as Prince of Staghorn, have my own expedition to mount.
Where?
We wish to retake Staghorn, which was lost to us some time ago.
Well, Your Grace, perhaps we can assist you with that. Can you tell us more about this temple? And perhaps once we've been to, if you want to hold off, perhaps once we've been to the temple, we could come and help you with your problems as well.
That might be very kind of you. The heroes of Havmar are always welcome, of course.
We heroes now.
I think that we are the heroes of Havmar. Yes.
Nice.
The temple is on the far side of White Sands, as I said, and he sort of gestures. He starts just walking off, presuming that everybody's following him.
Okay, we'll follow on then. Yeah.
And he walks outside and he gestures to the far side. So, for the context of people who didn't come in, who just came in, the island that they're on now is volcanic. And the mountain is indeed an active volcano, and it, as they watch, it steams ever so slightly, smokes, I guess, ever so slightly into the air, which means that the island has been divided into one half, which has this volcanic pumice-like sand, so this black sand on one side, and the other side is regular sand, which has eroded rock. And so you're getting the impression that the people of Coralia call this black sands and white sands, these two halves. And he points over along the beach. And at the far end, can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
18.
Well,
12?
Total of 20.
20? 22, okay.
nice.
Jurgen, you squint ever so slightly. You can't quite see from where you're at, but you do see the entire marketplace. The sun is getting in your eyes. And you can see the hustle and bustle. The crowds have started to dissipate, although there's still some hangers-on who are desperate to see the prince again.
Glinting
as
from Nomi's
royalists.
tiaras getting in your eyes.
Exactly. Coral
I see
jewelry is
everything.
being exchanged. It's a really busy, obviously, a market hub. The two of you, however, 20 and 22, you see all of that, and then just beyond, you see these 4 spires poking up from the water. Way out on the other side. And near that, you see a small hut, sort of towards the woods that line the bottom of the mountain. And Nomi, with your 22, was it? You, in fact, see just all different species sunning out on this beach near the temple. It is actually, no matter how much darkness was joking in the last hour, this is actually a tourist location.
Oh, wow.
And you see Vosu and Katafu, but mostly Sariki, all out sunning on the beach.
These spires, are they like a natural formation, or do they look built?
No, they look constructed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stone
Sorry?
spires.
Yes, stone spires. They look very constructed.
Yeah.
If you want a real-world sort of architectural touch point, imagine the spires on the corners of the Hagia Sophia. Sorry.
Hang on.
You see the...
I don't know what that is.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. So
Very
basically, there's
impressive.
Pointy bits on the top of a building.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of
Ta-da!
right, yeah.
tall,
Yeah.
tall with rounded bits at the top.
Your
Um,
Grace, if
I-
at all possible, if we could have the freedom of the island, if we could make our way across to this temple.
Of course, of course, of course. It is all yours.
To
You
the
are.
spires, sires.
You are. Sure.
It's alliterative.
But you can't see any
No
eyes. There's
expression.
just a slit there, but the eyes flash very slightly.
I can tell you that. You like that one.
Okay, so let us, gentlemen, ladies, whoever's coming with us, let us make our way to the place with the thing.
on this occasion, unfortunately, it's just gentlemen.
Okay, you
the-
never know. You know, I don't want to put any gender label identities on anyone.
Absolutely.
We're a very forward-thinking
You can't
crew.
see anything
Well,
on the
I was going to
armor.
say,
you
how
know.
can we tell in darkness?
Who
Exactly.
knows? Who
My
knows?
name is Know Me Watts.
Exactly. You know, so we onwards to the thing
As
for
you
the thing.
push your way through the markets,
Stealing as I go.
roll a sleight of hand check.
That's an 18 plus 9.
Sure. What do you steal?
Everything. It's just like brazenly, I take whatever I can find.
Can I get perception checks from the rest of the crew,
Yes.
please?
Never.
That's a natural 20. bitch.
You see this, and once again, I'm getting deja vu. A cleric and a stealing gnome. Hopefully, this is not Jurgen's last adventure.
I was needlessly threatening.
The last time this happened, Olmorn died. So, just saying. And he drowned as well.
Yeah, it's okay. I've got a whole bunch of water stuff. I should be fine.
Yeah, so you
Do you
see
still have
Nomi. You see Nomi wantonly pickpocketing as you push through the marketplace. The crowds are still kind of following you, shaking hands. They're desperately trying to sell you things like
Okay.
this jewelry. Honestly, there's one guy with a sword that's like, "It is the best sword on the island. You will kill with this sword."
Like, he's just holding the sheath still, but still saying it.
Can I just ever so carefully take the now blunt end of Senior Stick and just whack him in the back of the head with it?
Make an attack roll.
Oh my god.
Sure.
That's 17.
Just because you're allies, is this lethal or non-lethal?
No, it's
damage?
just like, you know,
Just a warning
essentially the equivalent of me smacking him up the back of the head.
Was it 17 total?
It was 17 total, yeah.
What's your AC?
17.
Yeah. You feel it on the back of your head.
I know, alright. I grumble and I stop.
You can keep the stuff you've got, no more.
Just for reference, when we get there, I'm going to check I still have my water breathing.
Yeah. I'm very concerned that you've got these very heavy pockets just as we're going to a series of bodies of water.
Well, most of the jewelry is made of coral.
Oh,
So,
nice.
So that floats, I believe. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
exactly.
I built my own coral life jacket. Thief jewelry.
So you head your way through the market, all along the docks. After walking for about half an hour, you reach the other end of the island, and you can you see this beach, which, as I described earlier, is just full of tourists. Can I get perception checks once again from everybody, please?
6.
19.
19,
17.
Too busy watching him.
21, and 17. So everyone who got more than 15, you notice an Iriak, so a tall, 7-foot creature with this matted fur all over them. This fur rather more greasy and dirty than
Yeah.
other Iriaks that you've seen. He's not looked after himself much, and there's flecks of white in the fur as well. And
Sam.
he's just
Dandruff.
you don't know, unless you would like to go up to him and
I'm good.
investigate.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Dandruffy, wicked.
I
And
give
he's-
them a few
That's
coins.
He's do you?
Wait, how big is he?
He's 7 foot.
Oh, then no. Don't go near
But
him.
he's going all around the sunbathing individuals, going like, "We mustn't be this close. We can't be this close. The monsters will get us. The monsters will get us." And he's just being ignored
Buddy, you.
by everyone's just sort of turning away, frowning, like he's a real nuisance at this moment.
I've not seen him, so.
The fish monsters! The fish monsters!
I tap him on the shoulder and I say,
Ow.
"Oh, I climb up."
Sure.
And I whisper in your ear, "That guy seems a bit troubled by something."
What guy?
The guy over there, the 7-foot one. I mean, it's really hard to miss him. He's huge.
Okay.
Yeah. Why did you miss him, Jürgen? With
with my very low perception, yeah, I was too busy making sure that he's not stealing anything else.
Right,
You
okay.
weren't checking out the sunbathers then.
Well, no, that's another story. They're all covered in fur and stuff anyway. You can't see anything good. So I'm gonna we'll take up with Nomi still on my shoulder like a parrot. I'm gonna just go over and just have a little chat with this chap. Just like.
Roll an athletics check for me.
Just climb up him.
Can I do acrobatics?
Yeah. Go on, acrobatics.
Oh, 19 plus 9.
Yeah, sure, yeah, he's perched as a parrot. And you go up to this area, and he immediately turns his face to you. He doesn't even notice that you're completely different species from everyone else on the beach. He doesn't address you as the heroes of Havmar as everyone else does. He just takes your arm and goes, "We must get away! We can't be here!"
Alright, okay, calm down, man, calm down. It's okay. What are you talking about? We're gonna listen to you. What's going on?
And he comes right up in your face, and his breath stinks of like uncooked fish.
Oh, that's the worst kind of fish.
I know. And he just goes to you, the temple is full of monsters.
What kind of monsters?
Fish monsters.
Fish monsters.
Fish monsters.
That's very strangely specific. Tell.
What makes them fish monsters and not just big
They're fish and they're monsters.
And have you seen?
They're going to come out of the temple and kill us all.
How do you know this?
It's a psychic fish monster.
Oh god.
If this was any other reality, I'd question this guy's sanity.
Oh, he looks quite mad. As you look into his eyes, he's lost it ever so slightly.
So what has happened is while they're talking to this, Darkness hasn't even he's noticed the guy, but he's like, we're on a mission, and he is already up to his chest, just walking straight into the sea. He's taken the potion. He's just going.
Okay, so if you've ignored this
I'll
entirely.
be doing the same thing following the
Okay, so what the two of you see is actually there is a welcoming party waiting for you at the temple.
Oh.
It looks like the temple is actually still used.
Oh, I see. I thought it was actually the entrance was underwater.
The entrance is underwater.
Right.
But what they have done is shored up with magical walls of force the water so that you can go down into, so you guys.
Part of the sea, basically.
Exactly, they've shored up part of the sea with magic. And you guys start going down this ramp, and you are met by this beautiful Sariki with long black and pink hair, with symbolism, religious robes and religious symbols all over her. And she greets you and says, "You are two of the heroes of Havmar, are you not?
Yep.
I
Yes.
am High Priestess Tova. You are most welcome here in Thahara's temple. Come."
Darkness does a little bow. He isn't quite sure what to do in this situation.
She doesn't bow back.
Okay.
She allows you to bow.
Okay.
How does Vale react?
I'll bow after he does that.
Okay, fine. Whatever. And she goes, "Come, let me give you the tour."
Hey, do I see them go in?
Do you follow her as she turns?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, cool. We'll snap back to these two talking to a mad Eriac.
Okay. So, dude, seriously, don't spit in my face. Calm down.
I'm sorry,
All right.
I didn't mean to. And you can see he doesn't have all his teeth.
Okay,
by,
fair enough.
by a long shot.
Okay, it's fish monsters. That's great.
Does everyone know about the fish monsters?
Everybody has been told about the fish monsters,
Was it
but
you
nobody listens!
Was it you that told them about the fish monsters?
Yes.
Okay.
How have you seen them?
I hear him.
Him.
The fish monsters.
Are there many or are there just one?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna give him like a gold piece and say, "Listen, mate, just go and get some shampoo or something. Do all this. Let's get this sorted out."
And he looks at the gold and goes, "But you cannot go into the temple!"
Okay. Well, we'll take that under advisement, but
You know who we are. We're the heroes of goddamn Havmar that I've just found out.
yeah,
Who is that?
we're kind of a big deal. Maybe you've heard about us.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, we haven't heard about fish monsters. You
Yeah.
haven't heard about
I'm telling you about the fish monsters!
Well, we're telling you about us.
Okay. At which point, I'm just gonna start backing away slowly as Nomi. I can feel Nomi's fingertips, but digging into my shoulder.
Doesn't even know who the heroes of Havmar are.
Okay, all right. And I'm like, where the hell have they actually gone?
Okay. You notice their retreating figures going
Okay.
down into the sea. From the angle where you're looking at, it just looks like they're walking into the sea.
Oh, right. Okay.
Vale, what do you think of this Heroes of Havmar thing? We seem to be getting a lot of stuff out of it.
Yeah, it's great.
Just keep going, keep
Well,
getting
until we
stuff.
accidentally blow some island up or something, sure.
Oh dear.
This is a volcanic island.
Yeah, and we're going into the ancient temple, sunken temple under it, yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly, right?
Don't tempt fate.
And as we go
Are
down
you
this
guys trying to catch up with them?
Yeah, I am walking as quickly as I would dare, which is not very, to try and catch up with them.
As we're going down this round, the last thing I say before I exchange it for stony silences.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Sure, of course you do.
Sick. Oh, planning on coming back anyway.
And as the two of you, Nomi and Jurgen, as you round the corner, you see the walls of force and the entrance that's more open than you would have been hoping for.
Well, this is nice.
At least we're not having to breathe underwater.
Yes, exactly. Useful.
Okay. The antechamber to the temple is this gorgeous carved stone, and it's pushed back by this air bubble as well. So it's rather surreal because you're looking out of the windows and you're literally underwater, and the occasional fish just goes past the windows. But inside it is perfectly breathable, and they've carved out quite a large section of temple, and there's idols in this antechamber of all around of this woman stood in a shell with the waves crashing around her, and
That would be Thaharin. Yeah.
that would be Thahara. Yeah, exactly. I think Thahara. Yeah, Thahara. The goddess of waves and wilderness. And Tova is just chatting along to herself as she leads you forward, going, "We are very proud of what we have done here. Rescuing the temple, placing our idols. Thahara is proud of us. A temple for her within the waves itself. What could be more fitting?" And she just chats on. Yeah, go on.
So whose temple did this used to be?
That was my question. Is like, are they being appropriately respectful to the original native religions here? This HR rep.
Roll history checks.
Sure. 17.
20.
17 and 20. 20 is what you wanted.
Sorry.
17, it's very obviously like repurposed. There are wave imageries all over the place. There are carvings. There are bas-reliefs that have just been plastered onto the walls. But this temple is quite clearly not originally a temple of Thahara. They are tacking all of this imagery on.
Is it a bit cyclopean in place?
It is. And in fact,
You know that.
because he's been playing with me for long enough to realize where this is going. Darkness, you actually, with meeting the DC, you recognize this temple. It seems eerily familiar, and you cast your mind back to the very first mission, way before 2 months ago, before you were catapulted to Havmar.
The old god.
The temple where the crew accidentally awakened the old god very much looks similar.
Is it like every now and again I'll see some sort of imagery of like an evil eye or something?
Not in this antechamber. You can't see any of that. But the stone is this strange green, and as you touch it, it's wet but
almost
dry.
permanently wet.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you touch it, it feels wet, but
Yeah.
your hand has no moisture on it when you take your hand away, and it's just really messing with your head. You're very unsettled. At this point, Jurgen and Nomi, you catch up with them.
Hello.
I jump off his back.
Yeah, that's fine.
We need to talk a little. Walk and talk. Walk and talk.
What's going on?
Look around you. Does this seem familiar?
Roll a history check.
Okay.
No.
14. Yeah?
No.
Yeah, of course it totally looks familiar.
remember-
Why don't you tell you what? Why don't you tell me what I think it is, and I'll see if I agree.
Yeah, I think you're telling the truth.
You remember the old god we faced?
Yeah.
The
This has been happening, guys. Sorry about this.
the very temple here, I think, used to be a temple to that god, and they have desecrated it. I don't imagine that god is happy.
That god's almost never happened.
No.
No.
As
Well,
I said,
yeah, I remember he didn't seem to be particularly happy that other time that we came into contact with him. So, right.
Let's get the temple
We-
and get out.
How did you
Uh,
defeat him before?
We didn't really. We kind of just came here,
I was sorting pamphlets at the time.
and it's and as far as I can recall, we turned on the tablet and we ended up here. So for all we know, that thing's still there wreaking havoc back home.
Maybe we can pull the old switcheroo again, and he can just come and destroy this place.
That'd
and
be
we-
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not fine, people who might be listening. Heroes of Havmar.
We
Yeah, you
care.
You are getting some strange looks from acolytes as you walk forward, not listening to what Tova's saying. She's just continually talking over you. You've been walking through some side passages, rooms with acolytes praying with this wave-like genuflect in front of these idols. And
wait, sorry. When they're praying, are they like a wave?
yeah, like a wave-like genuflect. Yeah, absolutely.
That
Or
gen-
are they all doing it in sort of
Yeah, like next to the wave.
wave?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no, you see one room.
Hey!
Except it's the opposite, because it's...
Yeah. Is there always that one like acolyte at the start who's trying to get it started, and then nobody's doing it until eventually like 2 or 3 of them do it at the same time.
So, noble priestess, this is all super impressive about the god and the temple and all. This ancient tablet thing, is that somewhere in here?
I had hoped that the heroes of Havmar would be different from the other adventurers we can't get here. But
How
you
many
are just like all the others, aren't you? You're just here for treasure. And she's led you into this gorgeous shrine room, which is obviously... It was going to be the big reveal at the end of her tour, and you've kind of like dampened that, no pun intended, where this huge statue of a wave, but as you look at it, there is clearly a woman emerging from the wave, hand outstretched, and all around they have sculpted the walls of force so that there are these 2 fountains from the sea itself pouring in through the windows, and then they dissipate out through these pools at the bottom.
I would like to ask a question.
It's very nice.
It is very beautiful. How long did this temple take to build?
It took us a little while to reclaim it. I do not know how long it took to build. It was built long before the deluge that flooded our world.
So how long did the reclaiming take?
A month or 2.
What did you reclaim it from?
Like I said, it was a holy place, presumably to Thahara. It is, of course, on the sea.
I'm gonna pop the lid of my potion. I have a bad feeling. I'm just gonna slowly drink.
Okay, cool. You drink the water-breathing potion, and there's this warm feeling around your neck.
Yeah.
And as you bring your hand up to touch, you've got 2 slight gills just have appeared on your neck.
Priestess, this place was not a temple to Thahara.
And it is now.
I
That is the
respect
end
that.
of the story.
Comparative theology aside,
Thank you.
Yeah, the ancient tablet thing.
Right, yes, the bit where you were just like all the other adventurers that we
Sure.
get through.
What, didn't the prince warn you that we were coming here to do this very thing?
No, I thought you were paying a visit to the temples of the island. The Temple of Thahara and the Temple of Apamos are, of course, the two most highly holy places on this island.
Just under my breath, I just go, praise Thahara.
To her.
No, I'm sort of really meaning it because there's an actual god there.
Okay, so you're being respectful of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna poo-poo their god.
Roll a religion check for me.
17.
17, yeah. And you feel this, you hear this sort of in your ears, this sort of crashing wave comes over.
Like putting a shell.
Yeah, pretty much. She takes a large coral key from her belt. Someone asked how many other adventurers we've had here. I've lost count. She crosses the room to a huge steel door on the wall that you had not noticed before and puts the key into the keyhole of this door. They do not come back themselves. Only a few return at all, and then they return mad and raving. A disease of the mind overtakes them.
What can you tell us about fish monsters?
That would explain that.
Well, of course, many evils lie in the sea, but Thahara protects.
Okay.
And
Thank
she
you.
turns the key. If this is what you are here for, then allow me to help you on your way.
Cheers.
My lady, we mean no disrespect. We're only we are people who are trapped and we're trying to get home. We've been told that we can get what we need here. We're not looking for riches, we're just looking for a way home. We're not trying to disrespect you in any way.
I understand. Perhaps I've been too harsh, but you must appreciate how it feels to have one's temple plundered.
Nope.
Well, how about some sort of exchange? Those who go down there come back raving. How about if we come back and we are not crazy, we're able to tell you more about it with a clear mind. This is your temple, and you know, I am assuming very little.
We know what we need to know.
You mean you've never gone down there?
No. There are monsters down there.
Well, if there's one thing
Why
I'm
do
good
you
at...
think we built this massive steel door?
I just thought it was like a
Aesthetics.
presentation thing. Yeah.
You know, it really ties the room together. And you know.
You know what? Let's go stab a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, now this is what I like.
Okay. Death Wishy Captain over here.
I appreciate how you are trying to frame this, young man.
How bad can
In a
fish
way-
monster be?
You'll see.
I know.
Oh, balls.
We'll call this an expedition to clear out the rest of the temple. Perhaps we may reclaim all of it for Thahara's name.
I nod to her and I walk over to this large, this statuesque thing of the woman reaching out from the wave.
Yeah.
And from my pocket, I pull a few coins and I put them in whatever sort of offering bowl there is there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is, of course, a large sort of dish with assorted coral jewelry and.
Is it like
pieces
throw
of
your
it.
coin in the well because it's all water?
Yeah, it's got a thin layer of water at the bottom, but there are so many offerings here that
Oh, they've piled up.
it's mostly been displaced. So the offerings are wet but not submerged.
No,
I'm going to toss a bit of change in as well.
Yeah, Nomi likes to hedge his bets, so he
Yeah,
takes
basically,
Some
one
of
of
the
the jewels.
the stolen jewelry.
Stolen jewelry.
And put it on the altar. And Tova bows and goes, Thahara thanks you all.
I'm just gonna quickly, just before I go in, I'm just gonna be like, just in my head, just like say, Pat,
Yes?
what's going on with this? What's this Sahara? What's going on with that, mate?
Thahara? She's a right old killjoy, she is. Thahara's all about the wilderness. She never comes to the parties. She's always out on her own.
Okay.
Are you saying she's a bit wet?
A wet blanket, indeed.
Okay. Is she gonna? Are we? I mean, are we in trouble here, mate? That's fine. Oh, don't laugh like that, Pat. Come on, man. I thought we had a deal. Come on.
You're always in trouble, Jurgen. But I'm here to watch over you. You're far too much fun for me to let die willy-nilly.
I'm gonna hold you to that, mate. Seriously, because I got bad feeling about this.
I do still think you're a killjoy for stopping Golan from drinking, though.
Well, you know, we'll get him back on it a little bit. You know, maybe, you know, non-alcoholic beer, that sort of thing. You
Is
know.
that not blasphemy?
Where's the fun in that?
It was dying. Anyway, this is not the time for this conversation.
Are we hearing you
no
talk to nothing?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
He's just whispering in the corner.
Yeah,
To outward aesthetics, it looks like praying,
Right, okay.
essentially.
Yeah.
He's communing with his own god.
We have a quite an interesting relationship. It's fine. Okay. All right. Just keep an eye out. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Amen. Oh, cheers. There we go.
And you just hear a glugging noise in your head.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, big scary door. This is what we do.
Understand, beyond here, our magic ceases.
Of course it does.
The rest of the temple is flooded.
Fair enough. In which case,
Thumbs up.
that's it. Light them if you got them, guys. We pop off the thing and chug it back.
You all drink your potions of water breathing. You
Yep.
all get the gills down your necks.
Right.
And she opens the door, and the air bubble continues just inside, about 5 feet inside, just enough for her to push you all in there
Fair
and
enough.
slam the door behind you.
And
You hear a as the door
great.
locks.
Okay. How we for like? Is there any sources of light or anything in this place?
No,
Okay, right. So I'm gonna cast light.
it is now very dark.
Okay, I'm gonna cast light.
What color is your light?
My
Jürgen?
light is, well, normally it'd be purple, but if it's quite dark in here, I'm gonna go.
Oh, again. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the fire alarm. Do apologise for this.